Hey everyone, Mango7 here. How we doing today? Welcome to another Dragalia Lost video. This is going to be another issue of starter tips, I guess. Just stuff I've been learning along the way, stuff that I think every player should know or do, and stuff that I wasn't aware of at the start of the game. So I'm hoping a lot of this info can help you guys out. And we're just going to go over a lot of things. A lot of this you might know, a lot is pretty basic, but there's so much going on in this game that it's really important you get everything right. So let's start off in the settings here. Let's go to system and we go down to batch download in settings. You can download every single thing right in one batch instead of those miniature downloads every single stage. Just a little side tip in case you are interested in getting them all at once. Alternatively too, we have a language difference here. I really recommend the Japanese VA because it's just absolutely insane in this game. It's so good. Every single thing is voiced, every last one, all voiced in JP, and it's amazing. English is great too. Their VAs are awesome, but not everything is voiceovered yet, so I really recommend playing in Japanese, at least for the voice. As for a couple other things here, I have a list. Let's go down from the top. So first things first is Yuden here, also known as Mango on this account. He's actually one of the best characters in the game, if not the most important, and that's because of one ability he has here. So let's go into his mana sphere or mana ring, I'm not sure what to call it here, and find it. Is it this one here? Nope. Is it this one here? Yes. There we go. So Yuden here has player XP plus 10% that you can unlock at the second stage. So every single person should have this unlocked, and this way every party you do, you can have Yuden in your super back line. You will never have to actually use him if you don't want to, but he will still gain you that 10%. So even if you're only using one character in a co-op party or something like that, if Yuden is in your back line, you will still get plus 10% bonus XP towards your player, and that is bonkers. Another thing here is right at the top of Yuden's thing, and this is pretty much unobtainable for a long time, but it's here. I just wanted to mention it. You can also get up to 15% if you clear him all the way to the top. Again, I do think that's something everybody should do eventually, but nothing you should really consider yet. Next up are daily deals. I find daily deals in this game pretty important. There's a lot of things to do daily. I'm just going to try to cover over a couple of those things. So first off, if you click that little thing, I should probably tell you where to click since there's so many things. That little thing right there, I'm not even sure what that is, but I see a diamond on it. You can go to upgrade essentials here. There's obviously your daily item here, but you can also buy a ton of these things, and these things are important. A lot of these are really worthwhile. Like, I'm going to buy all these granites. I'm going to buy all these iron ores. I'm going to buy the water as well. I'm not going to buy the gold crystals because you can farm the gold crystals faster than you can farm the money to buy the gold crystals. So that I would skip. These change basically every day, so I'm not entirely sure which you should and shouldn't buy yet. But in general, I'm buying basically everything except for gold crystals. As for other packs you can buy, the important ones in value packs, if you're going to buy any packs here, you're probably going to want to buy the welcome pack, the beginner pack, and the storage pack. Those are just absolutely bonkers value. Those are the three I've bought so far for a total of 60 Canadian dollars, about 45 US dollars. There's also these two. I bought the 7-day pack for double bonus, and what this does is gives you double bonus drops for every daily you do. I'm not sure how much worth this is, but I did buy it. But there's also this one, and this is the 30-day pack for recovery for 500 wormite or diamantium, and I think this is basically a necessity if you're spending any sort of money. You're gonna find yourself spending stamina, or spending your stamina way too fast, and spending wormite or diamantium to refresh your stamina, and this is just a better way to do it, a more efficient way to do it. This is not going to be like Fae, where every single last bit of your currency goes towards summoning. You're definitely going to be spending currency on refilling your stamina if you are an aggressive player, somebody who likes to grind a lot like me. It'll get you further than any sort of summons will, so keep that in mind, and I think you should definitely always have this thing running right here. It's important to note too that it's right down here, and you might not always notice it's there, and it disappears if you don't accept it for the day. So you have to hit recover once a day, or else it is gone. And reset time is 11 o'clock, which is 49 minutes from now, so I need to do that soon. It is impossibly hard to get your stamina down in this game. What else do we have to talk about? Next one that I think is absolutely essential, and this is one I talked to a lot of people on the stream about, And this is your wormsmiths. A lot of people just are sitting there with 1 or 2 wormsmiths, and these are the things in the top left. These are the things that build all your buildings. You should absolutely go at least up to 4 and probably up to 5. I really recommend every last person get all 5 of these. The first upgrade is 250 Wormite, the second is 400, and the third is 700. So yes, the third takes half of a 10 pull for summons, but trust me, you're going to need it. If you see all of my now, we have one at 1 hour 51, one at 41 minutes and 70 seconds, one at 4 hours here. We have one at 21 minutes and one at 10 minutes, and they are going non-stop. There are so many things I can keep doing, and a lot of them are taking 15-20 hours now. So if you only have 1 or 2 of these, you're gonna fall so far behind. It is more important than basically anything in the game, I think, to keep up with this, especially since your Halidome, your upgrades here are all tied towards crafting. And if you don't get these facility levels up, which you gain every single time you upgrade a building, you're not going to get your smithy up, and then your weapons are going to fall behind, and you're going to fall behind instead. So please, 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 just buy all the wormsmiths. I might be wrong with 5, but I'm definitely not wrong with 4. Just get 4 of them for sure, and I would absolutely recommend 5. Another thing here I'm noticing some people don't always see is your dragon. He's a good dude, you know? You should really feed him every time you can get. These all refresh once a day, and I really recommend you doing all of them at once. If you switch over to items, there's items you had drop to give it to you too. He does give you items back, and these can be used towards your Halidome upgrades, I think, and a bunch of other things. And it doesn't always tell you where to get them, and that's very important to know they're there. Speaking of where to get things, this is another thing not everybody has noticed. Let's go back into upgrade and into mana circles. Obviously you should be keeping your mana circles upgraded. It's pretty important to do. You should also be doing weapon binding, but not something I want to talk about because that's not so much of a basic tip. It's really confusing actually. But it's important to click on items here, something you're missing. Let's go to one I am definitely missing here. So I think this skill we don't have upgraded. No, I did so much farming today, so let's just do this one. And we can go to no, let's do yeah, this was the one I think I want. So we can go to how to acquire here, and it shows you where it drops. It also shows you that there's another place that it drops, but it's not out yet, so you can click on it and it tells you when that opens, which is awesome. Really happy they did this because it makes the game so much easier with how many different things there are to drop. So keep that in mind. You can basically do it for almost every item, and it will tell you where it drops even if you can't get there. So let's keep going. Stamina, super important. Try to keep it uncapped if you can, but it's basically impossible to do so. There's 2 different types of stamina here. One is your main stamina here, and one is your Gether wings. Gether wings, I just call them feathers. The Gether wings go up to 50, and you get 6 every level, and this one just caps until infinity, but you don't regen until you're under your cap. You also regen these at a rate of an hour per one, which is absolutely ridiculous, and I think they should change it. And you only start regenerating when you're under 6 of those. So the way these work, let's go into events here. So the way these work is there's 2 different ways to spend stamina. One, you can go solo, and this will just take straight up stamina from you. So if we click in, I think it'll say here, this will take 15 stamina. So if we go solo, that's going to take 15 from our stamina here. Alternatively, we can go to co-op. If we go to create room, that's the exact same thing in terms of stamina use as using solo. But if we go to find a room here, it takes 2 wings instead of 15 stamina. And we can do the same thing down here if we join co-op. Anytime you join somebody else's group, so basically if you're not the host, it takes it takes wings instead of stamina. So super important there to keep that balance between hosting and joining groups. Also to note is once you have a couple of the 15 stamina dailies unlocked, you want to do those instead, because you can use 2 wings for 15 stamina worth, or you can use 2 wings for 10 stamina worth. So obviously you get 50% more stamina doing this one, so absolutely do this. And of course, once you unlock the 9,000 ones or anything higher, you want to use your wings on the 20 stamina ones. So I think that's a lot of what I wanted to talk about. There's obviously all of these daily bonuses you need to make sure you do, because all these things will add up here. As for other things you should do daily, if you are spending money, Diamantium here is probably a good way to summon. I think it takes 30 per summon, which is super cheap. It's 1/5 of the normal price. Absolutely recommend that too if you're going to spend money. There is so much more I can talk about here, but honestly, there's just so much I can cram into one video. I'm talking my heart out. I can only do so much. Really quick tips. If you're trying to get your might up, it's really, really, really important to get a whole team up. So my original goal for this account is just to get my main core as high of might as possible. And once my might is high enough to get everything done most efficiently and do the highest level of things that drop the most materials, then I would go back and level my other things. The way I did that was just kept everybody super balanced and leveled everybody up and tried to level their dragons up pretty balanced too. The best ways to do this are mana circle, crafting weapons. I would just do base weapons as much as you can until you can get to 4 stars. Worm prints you can upgrade as well. Your dragons you can upgrade too. There's so many different things you can do here to do it. And people ask what's the best way to farm, what's the best way to do X, what's the best way to do Y, and it really just doesn't matter. You need to farm literally everything. It doesn't matter what stage you're farming. All of them are super useful. And as a side note here, these stories are insanely amazing. You need to go take a look at all these stories when you're waiting on your stamina recharge someday. They also give you titles, which is fantastic too. So I'm out of breath. I can talk only that much. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope this helped you out. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe. As for tier list, which you're all going to ask, Nefaria has the best thighs, as we can see in the top, and that's all I know. So have a wonderful day. I'll see y'all later, and